I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today, I am going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
Oof! Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, madam. No, please. By all means, interrupt her. Please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please.
It's true what they say. The youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, AG. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Olbach?
It was a great job, being able to see my dear Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way, or something. But not me! I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him.
They're like the fucking same age, though. What? A little child like him. I mean, wasn't Juan in the same caliber?
I'm only interested in a real man. One Corrida.
But those two were the same age. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing. But maybe mentally we're talking, because, I don't know, Madame Guard gives me like a little bit of a child vibe, so to speak. Like, he doesn't even know what the fuck is going on, a little bit.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo.
Edgy Poo. Alright, let's get to it, for old time's sake, old bag.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. He was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. He was on guard. Mad on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So Mr. Angard came out from the victim's room.
See? It has to be him! He's the murderer!
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Alright then, well, let's get to it. Let's see what we can do with this.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room.
Miss Olbach, what was your post on that night?
The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help. I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. Heh. I even took out a few of the nails.
Oh, so that the floorboard would do the job. Gotcha. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Avoid a murderer, another one comes next, right after the corner.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
Please don't make me think of old grandma wings. I know what kind of wings she's referring to. Not the literal wings that you see on an angel or a bird, just different kinds of wings. Of an old person. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door?
There was something I was interested in finding out, you know.
Something you were interested in? And just what was that?
It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret, between me and Juan. Ah, and Edgy Poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? Is there like some sort of a hint that he's not even aware of the scandal? I guess, I don't know. If that would be the case, how much that is gonna help us. I mean, okay. Edgeworth is not our rival. I don't see him as our rival in this. Or anymore in this case, so it's not like we need to find something to to have like some evidence to have in our advantage against Edgeworth, but rather against the murderer. That's our mission here, so yeah. But should it prove relevant, we can always have it apprehended to our testimony later.
Looks like we shouldn't force it right now.
And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time.
No, then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Koreeda's room?
I have no idea! I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class! That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
I see. So many years, yet the same old spirit of a young teen. Sorry, I can always say that to the end. It's just really hard to think of something like that. Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. Oh, really? I mean, not even her name was mentioned in her prof. Yeah, it says security lady. It still says security lady, not Wendy Obag. Not even her age and anything like that. Like, how old is Obag? I kind of forgot. I know she said it at some point. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct?
That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room.
Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say.
Obag?
This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room. It was. He was.
Yes, he was. He was?
I'm too scared. I cannot say his name out loud.
Ooh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about right now. Yeah, I mean, for all you were afraid of her whip, Phoenix, but nonetheless, it did the job at times.
Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway. He was on guard! Mad on guard! He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room!
I mean, why keep it a secret in the first place? I mean, it wasn't really kept secret to begin with, so why the long drama for that? You saw my client? Are you sure about that?
Yes, see?
Really?
Annoying brat! You whippersnapper! When I say I saw someone, I saw that person!
Why do I get a sense of deja vu here? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Okay, well... let's see about... what the person was carrying. What was the man you saw carrying?
In which hand? His right or his left?
Does it even matter? We're asking you... what he was...
Huh, now this is a real mess. I mean, I cannot be expected to answer such a vague question.
Indeed. Please be more specific with your question, Mr. Wright. Sorry, Your Honor. What was the man you saw carrying his... right hand?
He wasn't carrying anything in that hand.
Okay, what was he carrying in the left hand? Then how about his left?
Empty.
This whole thing has been a lot of nothing. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? Oh boy. Oh man, this is a little bit of a interesting situation over here. We had 3 options before, and now we have two more options for the first option. So clearly we're gonna have to think about this a little bit. We cannot say... Okay, we cannot say that it is important yet. I guess it really wasn't that important after all. We're gonna come back to the other options. Well, I mean, hopefully. I hope that this doesn't progress through the trial, through the cross-examination, otherwise I fuck my... Yeah, because if that's the case, then I fuck myself. That's right, do you know why we say time is valuable? If not, I suggest you learn.
You've wasted 3 minutes of this woman's youth. That's more valuable than gold to me.
Why do I suddenly feel old in the presence of her childish whining?
She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying.
That's bad for us. Way bad.
But that's how the human mind is. It also has a tendency to jump off topic. She strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right?
That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Yeah, if you were in Phoenix's position, you would be singing a different song. Probably, I don't know. Mia seems like a very calm person. I mean, she never yelled or anything like that. Kinda makes me question how her years as a defense attorney were. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is the last testimony. Let's go back over here. And let me think about this. Is it the fact that he was not carrying anything in his hand important? No, because it's met en garde. If we are talking about the guitar... Actually, hold on a second. Yeah, it could be very important. It could... No, hold on a second. We know from Gumshoe that the guitar was at the studio the whole time. It wasn't that Matt Angard took the guitar from Juan's guitar case. So, yeah. I think I can see that Obeg really saw nothing in Matt Angard's hands. Or maybe we're talking about the knife, but the knife can be hidden in his costume to begin with. It's not like he had to have it in his own hands. Okay, let me just go back over here a little bit. The person's face. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail. Actually, is that even that important? Well, actually, it could be. Let's see.
That soft, gentle look in his eyes and his effeminate lips.
I know what the word means. It's just that it's kind of hard to say it.
His right eye covered by his silky hair. His sparkling, shining teeth.
Are we talking about Juan over here or Matt Angard? I thought you said that you were not interested in Matt Angard. But by the sound of it, it does look like it. His teeth are shining?
Oh, he's shining all around in this week's pinup poster, dearie.
This week's pinup? What do you... I mean... I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please stay with what you saw that night.
What? Angard's face is the same no matter where it is. You know, you whippersnapper!
Some is right. Was this testimony just not important or relevant in any way? Nah... You know what? No, I seriously thought that. This doesn't really help us like at all. There's no ifs and buts here. Alright. Let's go back to the statement over here. Press her once again and ask about Matt Angard's clothes. Let's see.
Was he wearing the Niku Samurai clothes?
Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters.
It can very well matter. But it does.
Now, what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing. That racing jacket.
Oh, he was wearing that at the detention center too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? Actually, this can very well be important. Because when the police came and Gumshoe checked Mad Angard's body, he was in his Nico Samurai costume. He was in his hakama. And Gumshoe found that bun. But now, here they are telling us about how Mad Angard was wearing his racing jacket. He was supposed to have his Nico Samurai costume at that point. Or it kind of depends. He could have changed his costume, but it was before the press conference. He should have had the costume on him. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with this. Of course it was important, Your Honor, because that's pretty much the best option out of all the other options that we found. Out of all the options that we have discussed, then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important.
Don't you see it, Edgeworth?
He probably does. He's just trying to test you or fuck with you. Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright. Witness, please.
Oh well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show.
I see. Actually, hold on a second. Yeah, trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. Then what can you say about this? Objection! Yeah, there you go. Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason, you whippersnapper!
Do you know what this is?
Ah! It's button number 2 on the Gemmy Ninja's costume!
I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. And the number as well.
Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this!
Oh no! I have been shot! Oh! What cruel fate. Wow, she really is a die-hard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Angard's body during a full-body search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal Angard.
He was caught up in the pleats of his Nico Samurai Hakama pants.
See? See? And Angard is a Nico Samurai.
Yeah, totally. I mean, what a discovery of the century. Witness. No, it may just be me. And I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Mad Angard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe I'd...
Jesus Christ, how much are you gonna go here? There you go, finally. Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Angard, the man, but Mr. Angard, the Nico Samurai?
But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway.
Miss Oldback, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Ichipu, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. It's like Edgeworth does not want to be a part of this like at all. He's letting Phoenix do the job for now at least.
Alright, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you. Alright, next testimony. Who you saw?
On guard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai. That's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know.
Yeah, that is true.
So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing Juan.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy, thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
You young'uns today. I tell you, there is no way it was anyone else.
Okay, well, can you explain why you think that way? How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
Right. And it's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Yeah, it's like I said before, Phoenix, just go through the motion. She's gonna go away soon enough. Miss Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Alright. Let's see. What are we gonna learn from her in this? Would you please get on with your testimony?
Watch your language, young man! What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
Oh god, please, no singing. Oh god! What? Are you gonna make like a duet opera with Manfred von Karma? Like, in the grave?
A striking figure might I see. Standing all alone is he. He's the Nickel Samurai.
She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this record? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts. A piece of gum?
Okay, you promise, right?
Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Oh, are you freaking kidding me? Edgeworth, for the chewing gum? That's expensive! Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth. Old chum. Okay, that was funny. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. He was the Nickel Samurai, okay. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not?
Not too long ago? Then let me ask you this. When you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh? Well... When I was little, I was thinking of becoming a pirate, and I was for a couple of years. Then I decided, hey, might as well be a detective. I like reading murder mystery novels, so I started being one after I started my adventures in Danganronpa. And then afterwards, I picked up magic stuff as my hobby as well.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? My dream was to become the Pirate King! Well, I wanted to be the Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court.
So what? See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Well...
What I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? And now is everything. I cannot be held responsible for the past.
Ooh, so insightful. Please, enlighten me, Wendy, old bag. Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies? Okay, you know what? Thinking of past cases, if we continue like this, then the judge would just pound the gavel and this will be game over. Because this is clearly not getting us anywhere.
All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough, you whippersnapper?
Okay, well that was a waste of time. And why would that be?
That way, no one could see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You are such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say.
It's part of the job, old bag. It's part of our job to question what the witness says and contradict and stuff and point fingers at people. Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume.
You mean a lack of time, you say?
He had to go to that post-cinema stage show right after the crime, you know.
Yeah, that could be a good point, but let's see. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Gemming Ninja?
Of course it included him. That's why when Angard came out of Dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway... So he must have worn the Nico Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nico Samurai?
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet?
You don't need to think too hard on this one.
Huh?
There's a contradiction in her testimony and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is, what that contradiction means for us.
Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. She's helping us, but at the same time she's still being our mentor here. She wants us to figure it out, but... So we know that somebody, not specifically, doesn't have to be Madame Gar, but a person was wearing the Nico Samurai costume. That's pretty much all I'm getting out of this. What could this mean exactly? Yeah, we saw him. I mean, we cannot contradict the fact that he saw something else, that he wasn't even Madame Guard with his racing jacket, he wasn't even the Nico Samurai. That's like just stupid. Why would she lie like that, like twice? It would be pretty convenient since it was right after the post-ceremony. So he must have worn that Nico Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Wait a minute, when he was stabbing poor Juan? Now hold on a second. Hold on a second. What does this knife say? Bears the victim's blood and Angard's fingerprints in the grip. But however, if Madame Guard was wearing the Nico Samurai costume, he must have been wearing the gloves, meaning he wouldn't leave fingerprints all over the knife. Now, wouldn't that be correct? Wouldn't that be correct? Actually, this kind of makes me question this. How much penalty does this cost? It doesn't really show me. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with this. Angard left his fingerprints. If we are to go by what Edgeworth said before, that it was a premeditated murder, that Angard took the knife from his own room, and the knife was, like, the fingerprints were all over the knife, then it would mean that Man Angard wasn't in his costume. But when the old bag said that he was in his costume, what the fuck is this? Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No. That's not my intention at all, on the old bag. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Yana, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? I was about to make the same joke, but yeah, Judge did it for me. Yeah. If Mr. Angard was really in the Neko Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on his knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Oh, that's right. The Neko Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? Well, not just gloves, he was wearing like... Well, technically gloves, but they look like claws. Let me see about this. The Neko Samurai thingy. Well, okay, his right hand is all robotic and such. The other hand, he was wearing a glove. But it kinda depends. Is it all metal and such? Or is it plastic? Either way, it's not glove. His right hand is not gloved. The other one is. I think that's an important detail that we should keep in mind for later, just to be safe. I think that this is gonna be... knowing this series and all that, well, murder mystery stories and all that in general, it's important to focus on the little details as well, whenever you see something unusual. He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. Uh-oh. And why would he do something like that? And why would he take off his gloves then? To leave his prints on a murder weapon? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking here as well. Why? There is no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility.
Oh yeah? And what is that, Iggy Poo?
Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Neko Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. Wait, what? The defendant held no intent to murder? He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Well, wouldn't that actually contradict what you said before, Ejipu? About the premeditated murder theory? About how Matt Angard took the knife from his room? Because if it was just to relax and talk with the victim, then why would he take the knife in the first place? There were knives in Juan Corrida's room as well. Juan Corrida was eating as well. You don't take your knife, like your knife from your own home, from your own house, in order to go to the restaurant and eat there. There are forks and spoons all over the place in the restaurant. Which is why he took his clothes off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I have heard that before. Oh, Ms. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? What is this? Think about it one more time. What is this gonna lead me to? Nah, there is clearly a contradiction, but I'm curious about this one. Nah, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with this. I'm just gonna continue. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Oh, you know it very well, Edgeworth. You should know where we're going with this, where we are driving with this. Now, for an argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Angard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Because of the freaking knife. You said before that Matt Angard, that in your earlier theory, Matt Angard took his own knife from his own room to stab Juan Corrida, meaning that it was premeditated murder. Yeah, we shall totally go with this. This knife. This was used by Mr. Angard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. We were talking about this knife like so many times, which means that if my client was in fact a killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corrida. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition. Your theory was flawed from supposition. Supposition 1. God, a lot of words today that I haven't heard of. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Glove marks? Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over... Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. Yeah, so going back to this, it's like we are in a loop over here of some sorts. Is it premeditated? Is it self-defense? He was wearing his costume with gloves as well. So it would make it a self-defense kind of thing. But if he wasn't, then it was premeditated. So which is it? Was he wearing the costume? Was he not wearing the costume? That brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Yeah, I think we should go in that direction, Nick. You're right. Let's go with the theory that he was framed. Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? To hide the murder method? To frame Matt Angard? Yeah, we're gonna go with framing Matt Angard. It makes the most sense in this situation. It's to frame my client, Mr. Angard, of course. To frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? We just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Grr! Witness!
Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult. Huh, Eiji-poo?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the nickel samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Angard with the nickel samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the nickel samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai? Alright then. Who were you waiting around for then?
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
Old bag? You know the drill here, old bag. If you don't tell us, then you will be considered accomplice to the murder. In which case, security won't mean jack shit to you. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Am I correct, witness?
The way you think, you are a sad amateur like with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So Hopeg was waiting around in front of the victim's room.
But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida.
Maybe Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person.
If it's what I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Obag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? So she was waiting for someone else other than Corrida, right? And from what has been established, she only saw Madame Garde leave the room, but not specifically enter the room, meaning she wouldn't know. She wouldn't have known that Madame Garde was inside the room to begin with. Still, it could very well be possible that, you know, actually, hold on a second. Hold on a second. These are news that happened before the day of the murder. And given how much of a big fan she is of Juan Corrida, maybe she was waiting for Adrian Andrews? I mean, what interest would she have for Adrian Andrews? I mean, she is a manager of Madame Garde, not Juan Corrida. However, she must have known from the magazine clipping that there is some juicy stuff going on between Juan Corrida and Adrian Andrews. So with that, she would also be interested in Adrian Andrews and such. So that could give us a motive for being interested in Adrian Andrews for some reasons. So it's either Adrian Andrews or Madame Garde. Or somebody else, but he wouldn't really have any interest in any other people. Let's go with Madame Garde.
What are you talking about, Phoenix? She could have waited until the next century and this would never have appeared.
Ouch. Busted. Guess there's no fooling here. You two, what do you think you're doing flirting in my courtroom? Flirting? With Mia? We weren't doing anything like that. Honest. Okay, so I guess it wasn't Madame Garde. I mean, there will be no other reason to wait for Madame Garde. Why would he have anything to do with Madame Garde? Meaning it could be Adrian Andrews. Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Angar's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... well... I see. Just seems to be really into the article. Can't be called such a thing. Then this manager with the initials AA. Are you saying it's Agent Andrews? Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out.